Book of Isaiah, chapter 35. The desert and the wilderness shall rejoice, and the waste ground shall be glad and flourish as a rose. It shall flourish abundantly, and shall greatly rejoice also, and joy. The glory of Lebanon shall be given unto it, the beauty of Carmel and of Sharon. They shall see the glory of the Lord, and the excellency of our God. Strengthen the weak hands, and comfort the feeble knees. Say unto them that are fearful, Be you strong, fear not. Behold, your God cometh with vengeance, even God with a recompense. He will come and save you. Then shall the eyes of the blind be lightened, and the ears of the deaf be opened. Then shall the lame man leap as a hart, and the dumb man's tongue shall sing. For in the wilderness shall waters break out, and rivers in the desert. And the dry ground shall be as a pool, and the thirsty places springs of water. In the habitation of dragons, where they lay, shall be a place for reeds and rushes. And there shall be a path and a way, and the way shall be called holy, and the polluted shall not pass by it. For he shall be with them, and walk in the way, and the fools shall not err. There shall be no lion, nor noisome beast shall ascend by it, neither shall they be found there, that the redeemed may walk. Therefore the redeemed of the Lord shall return, and come to Zion with praise, and everlasting joy shall be upon their heads. They shall obtain joy and gladness, and sorrow and mourning shall flee away. Isaiah chapter 36. Now in the 14th year of King Hezekiah, Sennacherib king of Assyria came up against all the strong cities of Judah, and took them. And the king of Assyria sent Rabshakeh from Lachish towards Jerusalem unto King Hezekiah with a great host. And he stood by the conduit of the upper pool, in the path of the fuller's field. Then came forth unto him Eliakim, son of Hilkiah, the steward of the house, and Shebna, the chancellor, and Joah, the son of Asaph, the recorder. And Rabshakeh said unto them, Tell you Hezekiah, I pray you, Thus saith the king of Assyria, the great king, What confidence is this wherein thou trustest? I say, Surely I have eloquence, but counsel and strength are for the war. On whom dost thou trust, that thou rebellest against me? Lo, thou trustest in this broken staff of reed, on Egypt, whereupon if a man lean, it will go into his hand, and pierce it. So is Pharaoh king of Egypt unto all that trust him. But if thou say unto me, We trust in the Lord our God, is not that he whose high places and whose altars Hezekiah has torn down, and said to Judah and to Jerusalem, Ye shall worship before this altar? Now therefore give hostages to my lord the king of Assyria, and I will give thee 2,000 horses, if thou be able upon thy part to set riders upon them. For how canst thou despise any captain of the least of my lord's servants, and put thy trust in Egypt for chariots and for horsemen? And am I now come up without the Lord to this land to destroy it? The Lord said unto me, Go up against this land, and destroy it. Then said Eliakim and Shebna and Joah unto Rabshakeh, Speak, I pray thee, to thy servants in the Aramites' language, for we understand it, and talk not with us in the Jews' tongue, in the audience of the people that are on the wall. Then said Rabshakeh, Hath my master sent me to thy master, and to thee, to speak these words, and not to the men that sit on the wall, that they may eat their own thing, and drink their own piss with you? So Rabshakeh stood and cried with a loud voice in the Jews' language, and said, Hear the words of the great king, of the king of Assyria. Thus saith the king, Let not Hezekiah deceive you, for he shall not be able to deliver you. Neither let Hezekiah make you trust in the Lord, saying, The Lord will surely deliver us. This city shall not be given over into the hand of the king of Assyria. Hearken not to Hezekiah, for thus saith the king of Assyria, Make appointment with me, and come out to me, that every man may eat of his own vine, and every man of his own fig tree, and drink every man the water of his own well, till I come and bring you to a land like your own land, even a land of wheat and wine, a land of bread and vineyard, lest Hezekiah deceive you, saying, The Lord will deliver us. Hath any of the gods of the nations delivered his land out of the hand of the king of Assyria? Where is the God of Hamath and of Arpad? Where is the God of Sepharvaim? And how have they delivered Samaria out of my hand? Who is he among all the gods of these lands that hath delivered the country out of mine hand, that the Lord should deliver Jerusalem out of my hand? Then they kept silence, and answered him not a word. For the king's commandment was, saying, Answer him not. Then came Eliakim, the son of Hilkiah, the steward of the house, and Shebna, the chancellor, and Joah, the son of Asaph, the recorder, unto Hezekiah, with rent clothes, and told him the words of Rabshakeh. Isaiah chapter 37. And when King Hezekiah heard it, he rent his clothes, and put on sackcloth, and came into the house of the Lord. And he sent Eliakim, the steward of the house, and Shebna, the chancellor, and the elders of the priests, clothed in sackcloth, unto Isaiah the prophet, the son of Amos. And he said unto him, Thus saith Hezekiah, This day is a day of tribulation, and of rebuke and blasphemy, for the children are come to the birth, and there is no strength to bring forth. If so be the Lord thy God hath heard the words of Rabshakeh, whom the king of Assyria his master hath sent to rail on the living God, and to reproach him with words, which the Lord thy God hath heard, then lift thou up thy prayer for the remnant that are left. So the servants of the king Hezekiah came to Isaiah, and Isaiah said unto them, Thus saith unto your master, Thus saith the Lord, Be not afraid of the words that thou hast heard, wherewith the servants of the king of Assyria have blasphemed me. Behold, I will send a blast upon him, and he shall hear a noise and return to his own land, and I will cause him to fall by the sword in his own land. So Rabshakeh returned and found the king of Assyria fighting against Libnah, for he had heard that he was departed from Lachish. He heard also men say of Tirkahah, king of Ethiopia, Behold, he is come out to fight against thee. And when he heard it, he sent other messengers to Hezekiah, saying, Thus shall ye speak to Hezekiah king of Judah, saying, Let not thy God deceive thee, in whom thou trustest, saying, Jerusalem shall not be given into the hand of the king of Assyria. Behold, thou hast heard what the kings of Assyria have done to all lands in destroying them, and shalt thou be delivered? Have the gods of the nations delivered them which my fathers have destroyed, as Gozan and Haran, and Resev, and the children of Eden, which were at Telassar? Where is the king of Hamath, and the king of Arpad, and the king of the city of Sepharvaim, Hena, and Eva? So Hezekiah received the letter of the hand of the messengers, and read it. And he went up into the house of the Lord, and Hezekiah spread it before the Lord. And Hezekiah prayed unto the Lord, saying, O Lord of hosts, God of Israel, which dwellest between the cherubims, thou art very God alone over all the kingdoms of the earth. Thou hast made the heaven and the earth. Incline thine ear, O Lord, and hear. Open thine eyes, O Lord, and see, and hear all the words of Sennacherib, who hath sent to blaspheme the living God. Truth it is, O Lord, that the kings of Assyria have destroyed all lands and their country, and have cast their gods in the fire. For they were no gods, but the work of men's hands, even wood or stone. Therefore they have destroyed them. Now therefore, O Lord our God, save thou us out of his hand, that all the kingdoms of the earth may know that thou only art the Lord. Then Isaiah the son of Amos sent unto Hezekiah, saying, Thus saith the Lord God of Israel, Because thou hast prayed unto me concerning Sennacherib, king of Assyria, this is the word that the Lord hath spoken against him. The virgin, the daughter of Zion, hath despised thee, and laughed thee to scorn. The daughter of Jerusalem hath shaken her head at thee. Whom hast thou railed on and blasphemed? And against whom hast thou exalted thy voice, and lifted up thine eyes on high, even against the Holy One of Israel? By thy servants hast thou railed on the Lord, and said, By the multitudes of my chariots I am come up to the top of the mountains, to the sides of Lebanon, and will cut down the high cedars thereof, and the fair fir trees thereof. And I will go up to the heights of its top, and to the forest of his fruitful places. I have dug and drunk the waters, and with the plant of my feet have I dried all the rivers closed in. Hast thou not heard how I have made of old time, made it, and have formed it long ago? And should I now bring it, that it should be destroyed and laid on ruinous heaps, as cities' defense, whose inhabitants have small power, and are afraid and confounded? They are like the grass of the field and green herb, or grass on the housetops, or corn blasted afore it be grown. But I know thy dwelling, and thy going out, and thy coming in, and thy fury against me, because thou ragest against me, and thy tumult is come into my ears. Therefore will I put mine hook in thy nostrils, and my bridle in thy lips, and I will bring thee back again the same way thou camest. And this shall be a sign unto thee, O Hezekiah: thou shalt eat this year such as groweth of itself, and the second year such things as groweth without sowing. And in the third year sow ye and reap, and plant vineyards, and eat the fruit thereof. And the remnant that is escaped of the house of Judah shall again take root downward, and bear fruit upward. For out of Jerusalem shall go a remnant, and they that escape out of Mount Zion. The zeal of the Lord of hosts shall do this. Therefore thus saith the Lord concerning the king of Assyria: he shall not enter into this city, nor shoot an arrow there, nor come before it with shield, nor cast a mount against it. By the same way that he came he shall return, and not come into this city, saith the Lord. For I will defend this city to save it, for mine own sake, and for my servant David's sake. Then the angel of the Lord went out, and smote in the camp of Assyria 185,000. So when they arose early in the morning, behold, they were all dead corpses. So Sennacherib king of Assyria departed, and went away, and returned, and dwelt at Nineveh. And as he was in the temple worshipping of Nisroch his god, Adramelech and Sharezer his sons slew him with a sword, and they escaped into the land of Ararat. And Esarhaddon his son reigned in his stead.